This is a topic I've wanted to talk about for many minutes since I found out about it on Wikipedia, and who else better to spread this important information than me, with my maximum of 11 views. It is the topic of Swiss trains, because the Swiss are amazing in the world of trains. They got that stuff locked down. They are the train divas. World War II is lucky they didn't get involved, because they would have trained the beeswax out of that war. The largest railway company in Switzerland is called the Rhaetian Railway. It's named after Rhaetia, which was an area of the Roman Empire that encompasses the west of modern Switzerland. The company is responsible for the majority of trains operating in Switzerland, and has been in business since 1903. That's over 100 years. Those guys have survived 3 world wars and a Jacob Sartorius music video, all coming out in their life, and they're still chugging along. The company is one of the few that have G-type trains in the world, which means that they are the only ones that can go through the Gotthard Tunnel. But I'll get to narrow gauge in a second. The craziest thing is that not only is Switzerland leading in train services, but they also have the longest train tunnel in the world, Gotthard, at 9.2 miles long. The narrow gauge is a term that means the railway pieces are less than 4 foot 8.5 inches away. I know, riveting stuff. But why does Marvel even try with Endgame when we can talk about the width of Swiss train tracks in the world's longest tunnels? You don't need any more than that. And guess what? It gets even better, because there are different train classifications. That's right. I know that you were already overloaded with epicness already, but there are a whole other set of types of trains. They range from A through H, and then R and T, and G is the only one that is narrow gauge. I know, the Swiss are such divas for going with such a specific type of rail, where only one class can go through it. Monstrous. The 7 trains are marketed in the 700 series, meaning 701 through 707, and they are the GE66 second class. Those 7 are some of the coolest locomotives ever, and I'm here to talk about 701 right now. It's called Rhaetia, named after that Roman Empire and the same company it's named after, and it was commissioned on the 9th of May, 1958, the same day that Vertigo from Alfred Hitchcock was released. Now, I'm not saying there are any connections, I'm just saying that when a Swiss train showed up in the movie to stab someone, it might have been a reference. Being named after Rhaetia means it brings the memory of the land of Rhaetia, which was named after the people rather than the other way around for some dumb reason. It apparently had the best wine, according to Augustus Caesar, aka the worst Caesar behind Julius and Lil, rip Mike Ilitch. Then we got 702, named Curia, after the province in Rhaetia. This would imply that the first truck would contain the second one, and the fact that it doesn't is borderline misinformation and should be prosecuted to the fullest extent. It was commissioned on June 19th, 1958, even though my dumb face wrote 1558 in the script. Shut up. The same day as the birth of Sergei Makarov, an Olympic gold medal hockey player, and 1/3 of the Russian Makarov brothers, my brother and me. Its namesake, Curia, is the capital of the Swiss canton of Grions. I don't know how to pronounce that, and it's mainly called Chur, which sounds like the name your college roommate went by to try and spice up the fact that his name was Charles. 703 is named St. Moritz, not Mortiz as I expected, and would make more sense because the name Ortiz is a thing. Some idiot named a town Moritz. and the train was commissioned on April 5th of 1965, aka the day Julie Andrews won an Oscar for Mary Poppins, showing the tradition of Mary Poppins actresses having popularity feuds with Swiss trains, something that you can't disprove because the actresses are winning. Now, St. Moritz is a town known for its sport of running horses on frozen lakes, which sounds like the kind of warning to be shown in a movie theater that had a very specific accident. It also hosted the Olympics twice, but so did some place called Lake Placid in the US, so really isn't an achievement. Wait, it's Lake Placid, never mind. Then, good old 704 was named Davos, which is probably my favorite name of all of them, and this bad boy of the group was commissioned in the 3rd of February, 1965, which is the same day that 105 ASAF cadets resigned for cheating. Last I heard, they were paid to take the test for someone called Donald Trump, whoever that is. Davos is a town in the Davos region, showing either the man it's named after's ego or the Swiss's laziness when it comes to names. What's even scarier is that the Wikipedia article on the area says it has a permanent population of 10,862. What does that mean, permanent population? Are they not allowed to leave? Is nobody allowed to enter? What happens if someone is born? Do they kill the oldest or sickest in the town to even it out? What if someone dies? Do they kidnap someone from the outside world and bring them in? Is it a curse? Do they all die if they don't have 10,862? Or was the person who made the sign forced to change it every day until he got so angry that he demanded it stays the same with such a rage that they refused to change the number? Then we got the legendary 705, named Potracina/Putrashina, for the two different pronunciations of the town, both of which I probably butchered. I'm just reading it, and I'm not willing to put in the effort to look it up, because I'm stupid. Which was commissioned in May 5th, 1965. That's a lot of fives. It is also the same day that the US Army started its first invasion into South Vietnam in the Vietnam War. I don't know which one was more impactful, to be told. The land of Potracina/Putrashina is a land of the Malaja region, once again probably butchered pronunciation, and it's known to have a population of only 2,000 people. A bit small to have a whole ass train named after you. Maybe don't name the train after a city that can fit entirely on that train itself. Maybe they might need to sit on the roof, but you get my point. Then we have the penultimate 706, Decentis/Muster. This beauty was commissioned in June 6, 1965. Cut that. In June 6, 1965, the same day a Frenchman named Machal Hazi, or something, ran 1 mile in 3 minutes, 53.6 seconds, which would be super impressive if you don't know the fact that he was running from a train that was trying to eat him. Then the record isn't really his concern, now is it? Decentis Muster is a town apparently named after the idea that it's a deserted valley. Deserted, desertis, decentis. And Muster comes from the term for monastery, so the name literally means deserted monastery. Doesn't really look good advertising when your main tourist pull is your monastery. Then, last but not least, Squall. Commissioned on July 5th, 1965, the day that America was born, and also the day that Porfirio Rubirosa, a Dominican diplomat, died. Now, I'm not saying that the train has anything to do with his death, but supposedly his soul is now possessing the train like something at Five Nights at Freddy's. Squall, a town that sounds like an interjection in a rap song, is actually the combination of multiple former towns. I know I've been complaining about my poor pronunciation in this video, but get ready for more, cause they are Ardez, Guarda, Tarasp, Ftn, and Sent, all Voltroned together to make Squall. Not only that, but the name of the region before it was officially combined was Bad Squall, which sounds like the worst sequel to Bad Grandpa I've ever heard. And that, my friends, is the wonderful world of Swiss trains. Fascinating tunnels, amazing trains with weird names, and a beautiful Alps range to explore from them. That's why Switzerland is ranked as the best European country when it comes to trains. Don't take my word for it, you should go yourself. And tell those diplomat-possessed Frenchmen chasing Vietnam War coinciding, ASAF test cheating, Mary Poppins actress rivaling, Makarov brothers causing Hitchcock villaining trains that I said hi.